And
Gameography.
Everybody gog your hands.
And it's like we do like early 2000s style, like like machinima, like where it's like video game models like doing stuff where it's like Mario like doing the clap your hands thing.
Clap your gloves. Everybody jump on a Goomba.
Okay, well, I guess, are we just going?
I mean,
welcome to Gameography.
I guess welcome to Gameography.
The show about video games.
The show about birthday presents and the people who open them.
Well, if you brought that up, I guess let's go ahead and listen. It's already weeks after Tim's birthday because shipping took an insane amount of time. But okay, Tim is now holding a rectangular package in his hands. He's now feeling the weight, trying to press his little things into it.
Pressing the things. I mean, it feels almost weighty to be a t-shirt, but
yeah. So what do you think it is?
Oh, well, it's a Mountain Goats CD wrapped in a t-shirt. Actually, but it says gamer on it, so I don't think so. And this is Gameography.
It says to gamer.
The two
shipped to gamer.
To gamer. Also, this is in our other podcast, Mountain Goatsography, so that wouldn't make sense.
This is the backdoor pilot.
Yeah, I'd say it's see the listeners won't know this at home, but last week Devin was wearing a shirt that had Mario on it. It was a very cool shirt.
Little guy called Mario.
Well, have you ever heard of him? Mario?
It is cool because it's like it's like 1-1.
1-1, baby. Only the real goggers know about 1-1. Yeah, that's my best guess.
Even though you said it doesn't feel like a shirt.
I don't know. It kind of feels like it
feels like a very like thick, stiff shirt. The best kind.
Yeah, it feels squishy. I guess it could be a book though. There is just maybe it's just because there's precedent of me and Devin getting each other T-shirts for one another's days of births. I know. I've given you several. Did I give you, your David Lynch, David Bowie, Kyle MacLachlan shirt, hoodie, sweater? Mm-hmm. Did I give that to you, or did you just buy that?
I think I just bought that.
Oh, okay. I think I was going to.
What did you get me? I don't remember.
Then I got you a mug that had a quote.
Yes, that is
on it.
Yeah.
And I got you a Mountain Goat shirt recently. I actually have not gotten you any real T-shirts.
That's the only one I can think of.
You gave me a Tobias Funke T-shirt in high school.
I forgot about that.
Time ago. I don't know where that is. I might have it
giant
somewhere.
Blue shirt, right?
Yeah. For when you blew yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shirt. Lots of good Devin shirts. Should I just open it?
Yeah. Let's just go for it. Yeah. Open it into the mic, please. That was good. Oh my god. Some real Christmas morning energy. Oh, hit the mic. Oh wow, there's like an inner... It's an inner package. Okay, Tim.
Clearly it's a book. I was mistaken, except for when I did say it was a book.
Okay, now it's in what are those called?
Bubble wrap.
Yeah,
a kind of bubble wrap, like wrapping, bubble wrap. And see that's what I was feeling. That was T-shirt-esque. So what we have on our hands here is a classic case of book in a box. Birthday book
disguised
in a box.
as a T-shirt.
Yeah, okay. It's the color black. So I'm guessing this is a book about video games. If I had to just deducing from the pieces. Appears there's a small baggie. There's a sticker, I think, or something. Oh, I see Hollow Knight. Like a Hollow Knight card or something. Now I'm very I don't. Oh wow! This is a God gift. I do not even know what this is. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Okay, so it's a Hollow Knight book. It says The Wanderer's Journal, a journey through the heart of Hollowness. I didn't know there was a book. I didn't know that Hollow Knight wrote a book. Oh
yeah, well, it's ghostwritten by the girl.
By
what's her name?
Oh, what is even her name? Hornet.
Yeah, Hornet. Yeah.
Ghost written by Hornet. I was gonna say ghost written by that. The guy who is always getting into trouble. And like rah, 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 rah. He sounds like that. Oh, it's shiny. This is beautiful. Oh my greetings, fellow wanderer, and welcome to Hollow Nest. It would seem you've happened upon my journal. Wow. What is in this?
I basically don't know. It's like a bunch of art, right? Like drawings of the characters and stuff.
Yeah. This is probably.
But then there's descriptions, I think, or like stuff written by the people, like the game.
Oh,
people, I think, but the gameographers.
No,
not us.
We're the gameographers. No, that's another.
The people who make them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gamers. What are those called?
Yeah, gamers.
No, yeah, these are. It looks like this could almost be like concept art or just like like drawings of it. Wow.
I don't know if this has Hollow Knight come up on the pod before. That it is like your favorite game, basically.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
We've talked about doing an episode for it, but obviously we have not.
We're going to eventually, but I don't know when that'll be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, for the goggers at home, it is literally my favorite. Well, this is relevant to the episode, and this is funny that this is happening right now. It's almost like it was planned, but it's not because.
Did you call it a synchronicity? Were you thinking about?
I would call it that.
Wait, what? Okay, yeah. Say what you were going to say.
Because two things related to this game and Majora's Mask is that. This week, playing Majora's Mask, I've fully concretely decided that my two favorite games of all time are Hollow Knight and Majora's Mask tied.
Wow.
And
really? That's insane.
Well, maybe Hollow Knight above Majora's Mask, but only barely. And I think,
I thought there was like another game that was like tied with, or like up there with
probably. I mean, what's the game we did? The space game?
Yeah, space game. Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds. That's also probably like very high up there, if not like right behind those.
Yeah.
But this, I think Hollow Knight is directly like spiritually inspired by Majora's Mask. I don't know. I really don't know if it was, if only there were a podcast that could tell us things like that.
Yeah.
But I do just feel like it's like the little conversations you have with people in both the games are of the exact same nature. And I feel like they're both kind of just like this like nebulous like observation of people living and dying in a way that's like very quiet and somber and beautiful, and they both make me cry. Oh, and then Pikmin's up there too. Devin.
Oh, Pikmin. Yeah, I think.
Wait, get this on mic. That's a handshake. Thank you, Devin. Thank you. This is a wonderful gift. This is
yeah, true. Like, I mean,
I am so excited.
I'm glad it exists.
Look at this and cry.
Yeah, there was also like, there's like a big, you can get like a big like printout of like the whole like world map,
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that maybe.
Yeah, that seemed like that was like the more obvious thing.
Yeah,
and then I saw that.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
It would be fun to like pretend like I'm the knight and just walk around like he does, just looking at a map all day. Oh, this is so cute.
What is going on in that picture? Because
this appears to be it's a picture where the knight and Hornet are sitting atop a small like maybe like soup shop run by one of the nail master guys, and Zote is his name Zote?
Oh.
The mighty Zote? Is that it?
I think so, yeah.
He's sitting there.
You would know.
I wouldn't.
Anyone.
I really wouldn't.
Well, that's all we have.
Thank you for tuning in to the Gameography episode on Devin giving me a Hollow Knight book for my birthday.
But Tim did mention our game of discussion today.
We're tired. See, those who have been with us since last week will know that we were talking about Oot last week. Last week was Oot week, and the week
this
before,
week is Madge week.
This week is Madge week. Yes,
because you can't say MM.
No, that's it's honestly sickening you even brought that up.
And this...
Because it's Madge. It's Oot and Madge.
It's Oot and Madge.
Oot and Madge.
That's true. If you just look up Oot and Madge, you get all these like articles.
Yeah.
Everyone calls them that.
That's how Devin did his research this week. Oot and Madge. And Google is just like, done.
If you do, it does come up.
That's not surprising at all, though.
I mean, no, it's really not. But Google also does try to autocomplete it as Majora's Mask if you type in Madge.
Google knows what Oot is, but actually, though, is Madge the common like shortening of that, or would it be MM?
I've seen MM where it's like articles, but
Yeah,
I feel like people don't really shorten it. Like they just say, or they might say just like Majora.
yeah, that's what I often say. But Madge, I mean Oot and Madge.
Here's okay. I think so. I showed up here a little bit and a little bit ago and watched him watch. We'll get to it, but watch the end of the game. and I mentioned that I had played the game in Japanese, and Andy said something about like or maybe it was you. Somebody said something about like how was the translation or whatever.
Yeah.
Classic line. Like I'm gonna know. But the weirdest thing is that it's not Majora in Japanese.
What?
It's Mujora or something. Wait. Or it's Majora, I think.
That's what the cows say.
It's Majora, I think.
That's what the cows say when you play a song for them. They give you milk and they say Majora.
Yeah, it's like, why did they change that? I don't.
Yeah, like they know ma in Japanese.
Yeah,
they know Majora.
I mean, I don't think they came up with the English first, if that's what you're implying. Yeah, it's Mujura.
Mujura?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe that they
maybe
did that
it just
and
doesn't sound.
Yeah, they said it in English and like that's horrible.
But it is just so weird because it's like as far as I know, I don't think that's like from anything. You know what I mean? It's not like they were like referencing something.
Yeah, that is like a very much made up name. Wow.
Yeah.
You've already gogged me right off the bat. That's a hard goggin.
You've been gogged.
You've been gogged.
Also, are we like into the episode? Are we past the?
Did we play the song yet?
Tim, you're the master.
I don't know. Only the listener. It's been 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Play the song now. And
we're back.
We're back.
Okay, Majora's Mask. The
Majora's
sixth
Mask.
game in the Zelda series.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What? The other ones?
Zelda
1.
Zelda 2.
2.
Link to the Past.
3. Oracle of Ages Seasons.
No.
That happened yet?
A Link. No, it's the Game Boy one that we talked about. Link's Awakening.
Oh, yeah.
Then Ocarina of Time, and then Majora's Mask. 6, baby.
6 babies. 6 babies. 6 links.
This is 6 mains. There's little other ones.
Yeah, there's
that we've talked about a little bit.
Spelling with Link, stuff like that.
Yeah, cooking with Link. That's Breath of the Wild. It was released in 2000. We've now reached the 2000s.
Wow, we're in a new millennium.
Insane. Yeah.
Man.
People didn't think this game would come out because of Y2K.
Oh, man. Yeah. Nintendo wasn't prepared for the turning of the millennium. Can you imagine if there was a Pee-wee mask? Is that what you just said to me?
That's what I just said to you.
Just turn it on, you press B, it goes,
Exactly. That's all it does. That'd be on par with a lot of the masks in this
that'd
game.
be more functional than the majority of them. The majority.
Okay, so I said this game came out in 2000, designed by a team led by Eiji Aonuma, Yoshiaki Koizumi, and a little old fellow. He just keeps popping up.
You might know him. You might love him.
Good old Shigi Miyamoto. Which also, I don't think we talked about this when we talked about Ocarina of Time, but I did name my character. I did name my Link Shigi for both of these playthroughs. And what I wanted to ask you was, I do know that your character was named quite insanely in Ocarina of Time. But did you bring that over?
Actually, did we literally talk about that at all in the Oot episode?
I don't remember. I don't remember if you. I think you did mention it because when Andy was here, I think you did.
Because like he had played the first part of Oot with me, and we named the character Owie Ma'am, which was so funny in all caps every time. It made me laugh. This time I named it Gog.
Okay, that's right. I think you did send me a screenshot.
So, hypothetically, were somebody to go onto twitter.com and type in @Gameography they would most likely go and see a bunch of screenshots from my playthrough where people say, "Oh, GOG, I love that podcast," and it's just like a Deku. Can we? Could you convincingly edit the text in one of those screenshots to look like one of them said, like, "I subscribe to GOG on Podcast Addict."
Once again, brought to you by Podcast Addict.
Literally, why won't they sponsor us? Have they responded to any of
Mr.
your
Addict,
emails?
we've reached out to you. Just to let you know.
Jonathan H. Addict. Jonathan H. Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Majora's Mask.
Made by... What's the deal with Majora's Mask?
Oh, we all that we got to is that Miyamoto was one of the people who made it.
Yeah.
That's all that we got to.
Yeah.
But isn't this the first one who really made that? Who was the most directory?
Miyamoto.
So that was, yeah.
I mean, it's like it was so collaborative.
Yeah.
But he was like more in charge of it. He was more hands off on this.
Yeah, okay.
But he was still like around.
And this was more Aonuma, right? Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
Aonuma.
Yeah. Okay. Majora. Aonuma Majora.
It's co-directed by him and Koizumi, who we talked about, who would go on to make Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Among other things. And it's actually like So we'll just get into it.
What are we waiting for, Devin? Let's get into it.
Their original plan was Miyamoto wanted to make similar to how in the first Zelda you had like you would beat the game and then you could do the second quest where all of the dungeons were different and stuff and like there was like things in different places. He wanted to do the same thing basically, where like release what was called Ura Zelda or like flipped Zelda, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Like the backside of Zelda.
Okay.
Which Miyamoto's all into that backside.
Oh, yeah.
And so that basically eventually became what we now know as the Master Quest version.
Yeah.
You know about that?
Yeah.
Where it came out on, I think it did come out on N64, but I think a lot of people know it from like that GameCube disc that you have.
Oh. Are you sure? Wait, there's Master Quest in that?
Yeah, there's Master. That's like when I like would read about it. That's like what people would talk about. It's like included in that 30th or not 30th, whatever. Whatever
10th, 20th,
15th or 20th. Yeah, anniversary of Zelda.
Okay, I thought it was only on the 3DS one.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know that's like original. But so he was like that. He gave that to Aonuma, and Aonuma was basically like, I don't want to do that. he was like, I already like he basically was like, I already gave like everything, because he was like the main dungeon maker.
Really?
And he was like, I already made the best dungeons I could possibly make. And he was like, I can't do it again.
Yeah.
And so he was like Miyamoto, like, my counter offer is like, let's just make a whole new Zelda game. And so Miyamoto said, yes, but you have to make it in 1 year.
Wow. And how long do you say Oot took?
Oot took like from when they very first started working on it, it's like 5 years.
Wow.
But really working on it was like 3 years.
Wow. Still though, 1 year.
Yeah. Because he was like, you just like use all the same stuff from Ocarina of Time. Yeah. Like the engine's already built, and that was like, I think a lot of, or at least in their mind, at least in Miyamoto's like mind, that was what took most of the time. So he's like, you should just be able to knock this out.
Yeah. Which, I mean, honestly does make sense, right? Where it's like...
Yeah, I mean, I think that is how, like, a lot of video game companies work.
Mm-hmm.
I think...
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is like a rare... Because I don't think Nintendo does that very often. Like if you think about it, like
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
true.
like other game using the Mario 64 like engine. There's no like direct sequel to like Wind Waker or
and because they made Galaxy too, but that's like literally the only example I can think of.
Yeah, and like they're making Breath of the Wild too, but it's like only when they have like a huge insane breakout hit will they do that.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they should have just made like a second Mario Sunshine and then made it better.
No, they're best to cut their losses.
Yeah, but during playing Majora, I definitely kept on thinking like, I can see that this is just a guy taking the pieces of Ocarina and just like putting it together.
Yeah,
and I mean that in the very obvious ways, you know, where but it's like I just kept on thinking that where it's like clearly they're just like, what is the storyline for this like this like model of a character, you know?
Like for Link or
like
like looking at like a random NPC and being like, how can we make a little story about this guy?
Yeah, like because I thought like I said this before, but the music box guy, it's like he has the like animation where he gets all mad in the first one, and so that they somehow found a way to make him like, somehow you must find a way to make this music box man mad, and they went with he was mad because a dog was the leader of a musical troupe and he wasn't.
Yeah, there's so many things like there's so many things where like I could have written notes. I still have just a lot of notes about this game, but it's like there's so many weird things. It's just like, what?
There are so many weird things in this game.
Some interesting backstory for Aonuma is that he gave a talk maybe around the time that Wind Waker came out, or I think like either after it came out, where he talked about like just Zelda in general, and he talked about how when he played the first Zelda, he had a sort of a similar experience to us where he was just like, this is too hard. He said, at that time, I didn't have much experience playing games, and I was particularly bad at playing games that required quick reflexes.
Oh, that's
so immediately after I started playing the original Zelda, he like died to the Octoroks, like the very first enemy, and then he was like, okay, and then I finally like got good enough to kill him, and I went to the next screen and just saw there was a bunch more, and he was like, do I just have to keep doing this? And so he just gave up.
Oh my gosh!
And he
so
said,
Aonuma's me. That's why I like this game so much.
He said at that time he was more into text-based adventure games that were more about the story and the interactions that you could do with characters and stuff. But then he said when A Link to the Past, where the Super Nintendo came out, he found that he liked just like running around and like cutting grass and doing all of like the non-combat stuff and like solving like the dungeons and stuff, like finding keys and stuff like that. He liked all that stuff. And then he decided like, okay, I want to work on a Zelda game at some point.
Yeah.
And so he like, when Ocarina of Time was being made, he basically like convinced Miyamoto to like bring him on essentially to work on it. Wow. And then he ended up being like the Zelda guy after that.
That is hilarious that he's literally still the Zelda guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah. But he like could not handle the first Zelda.
Gosh, but that's so funny because that makes so much sense to me with this game. But yeah, because like definitely I'll even look at my notes. I think the biggest things I noticed playing this game are that like it's easier than Ocarina of Time. I feel like
wow. Okay.
With there are some exceptions, and there's distinct parts that are very needlessly like repetitive and annoying.
It's known as being harder, and
oh really?
Because it's not necessarily harder. I agree, but like, well, some things are, I think, but like they like don't tutorialize a lot of stuff at the beginning because they assume you've already played.
Oh, Ocarina. That's interesting.
So like, if it was like if you had never played that and you just pick this up, they don't tell you necessarily how to do a lot of, or like.
That's really true.
That you're supposed to do some like a certain things, you know.
Wow. Yeah. And that might explain why as a kid I played this game before I ever really played Ocarina, and I never could figure out what to do in it to get any kind of progress. Maybe that's why. But
yes,
when
that is the biggest problem, I think.
What I mean when I say that it's easier though is that it's like in Ocarina of Time I always didn't have enough hearts and I always didn't have enough fairies, and in this I almost never even used fairies.
Wow. Do you not think it's that you just got like better?
That's certainly possible.
Did you find that as a kid as well, or because I also think for me, when I played it as a kid and I never got through it, but like it was definitely easier this time than I remembered it. Like a lot of the sequences that I remember being like so like frustrating as a kid was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Like it was still like difficult, but it wasn't like what I remembered.
What's an example of that for you?
I mean, the number one thing that I think of is the like breaking into the Deku Palace.
Oh yeah, you talked to me about this.
Yeah, to get into the monkey's cage, where you have to like sneak through. And I did it even this time, where it's like you can sneak through and get past a bunch of stuff, only to find out that it's like, oh, you're not supposed to go here.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side.
Yeah.
That is. There's a lot of things like that in particular where it's just like, you could have made this easy on us. Like, you could have not made this part so painful.
Well, it's like you could have just... The problem, I think, with a lot of it is, like, you could have just given us, like, a little bit of indication of what we're supposed to do, but you just don't.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it, but, like, he does acknowledge that.
That's so
later
funny.
on.
That's funny because, one thing that I thought about a lot during this is how... For example, in the different little mini quests in Clocktown, there's so many of them where you literally just have to catch the right person at the right time on the right day to even get a clue of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And like, I just found myself looking up a ton of stuff when I was trying to complete as many of the mini quests in there as I could this time. But I also found that I knew a lot about when people came and went, because as a kid, I would literally just explore Clocktown. And that was the whole playing of the game to me. And that was the most fun I had ever had in a video game, was just wandering around and talking to people.
Yeah.
And so I almost feel like he wasn't completely wrong in making it that way. Because like for a kid who is falling in love with the game, it's like actually the most intuitive thing to do, to just wander around and learn naturally.
Yeah. See, I remember doing that too. Probably maybe not to the same extent as you, but like I remember following the mailman guy around.
Yeah.
Everyone being like, okay, something's got to happen. And it's like, it never does really.
Yeah. I didn't, even this playthrough, I don't know if I've ever beat his quest. I've never quite understood.
Well, you clearly did on the 3DS version, because
I guess, yeah.
If you got the final mask.
Yeah, we were talking about when I played it in
his mask is part of the like the Star-Crossed Lovers like side quest.
Oh, it is? Oh,
there's multiple. Yeah. Oh my, that quest. Okay. But that, I mean, should we just talk about that quest? We're going very out of order, but like that quest.
Hey, that's kind of in line with Majora.
Yeah.
Wait, should we
just like describe what the game is a little bit?
I was going to say, should we every 20 minutes we restart and then just start the podcast over
Welcome
again?
Welcome to Gameography. Where I restart, or like I come back and then but you don't remember anything I've said.
Devin, why are you just going into it? We need to do the intro.
Oh God. Let's step back. The game is the pitch of the game is you're playing the same 3 days over and over again. Yeah. You show up to Clocktown. The moon is falling and gonna destroy the city, and I guess like the whole land around it. It's not very clear, but
yeah, there's a lot that's not clear.
So you have this 3-day time period where a lot of the characters will do different things at different times. They're moving around. They have their own schedules, and and like we were saying, there's certain things that only happen at certain times and stuff like that. And then at the end of that 3-day time cycle, or whenever, you can use after you've gone through the cycle once, then you can use the Ocarina of Time to go back in time to the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Where everything resets except for the items, some of the items that you have.
Yeah, like key items you keep, but you lose like kind of
you lose your money,
items.
your bombs, and all that kind of stuff.
And in classic Groundhog Day fashion, you have learned and like discovered things in the 3 days that are now like undone. So you can essentially learn how to predict things as they happen, and that's like basically the whole point of like all the side quests in the game.
Yeah, I mean some of them. Yeah. But so there's this one side quest where you go into. It starts with you go into the mayor's office.
Yeah.
And there's the mayor's wife and this like fish lady are talking. Or, I don't know if the fish lady has to be there for this, but this guy is missing, and you're supposed to.
Young boy, he's engaged to be married. Young man, son of the mayor, and his
and he's gonna get
wife.
married. Yeah, and so as any detective would do. You wear a mask of the guy you're looking for's face. That's how people know you're looking for him.
As any detective would. Any good detective worth his weight in masks.
Watch any classic detective movie. You'll see this trope. It's kind of like disappointing that they didn't think of anything more creative than this.
Like, okay, you wear the face of a missing person. When did they make that mask? Is it just in case of emergency?
Good question.
Was it just like a family heirloom?
Very good question. I don't know. Also, am I very quiet?
No, that's normal.
Oh, okay. Your things just look bigger.
Oh, actually, you are turned on a little bit.
So you can go around town, talk to everybody wearing that mask, and they'll either say they don't know anything or they'll like give you a hint. Yeah. I did not find any of anybody said helpful at all.
True, yeah. Also, what I was especially annoyed by is that you can talk to him, you can walk up to him wearing the mask.
Yes,
and no one.
Yeah, it's incredibly obvious who it is because the mask has purple hair.
Yeah,
and there's one character who's very sticks out. Like. With purple hair, that you can't talk to and always runs away from you or like it just ignores you, and wearing a fox mask, which is that mask is from Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, a few of the masks are.
Yeah, because there is like the mask trading sequence.
Yeah,
side quest and which is kind of like where all of it came from. Yeah, they were like, oh, we
should make this into a whole game.
Yeah, we should make the worst part of Ocarina of Time.
Literally among the most forgettable parts of that whole game.
Yeah.
Got turned into the sequel.
Yeah.
And it's better than the original. Spoilers for part 2.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So yeah. I didn't even attempt to like well, I mean I did. I was like trying to like just talk to everyone with it, but I couldn't figure anything out.
Did you talk to Anju?
I don't think I did. I talked to her mom though. And didn't get anything.
Who even is her mom? Is that the old woman in the shop or in the inn?
Yeah, there's like two women in the inn. Yeah, it's like the old. I think it's her mom.
The one you have to wear.
And she literally just says like, "Don't wear take that off. That's a frightening mask or something." Which
the old woman who reads you stories?
No, not her. Not her. There's Anju, and then there's another woman who's sometimes at the front desk.
Oh,
she's not there.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And she's like older and like kind of fat.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know this game.
Which I don't know if she says that. I imagine she says that no matter what mask you have on, but I didn't check that. But it's just like, why wouldn't she be like, oh,
my son-in-law,
my future son-in-law, or like any hint? So I did not know, like, to go back there. So eventually, and the other thing is you can't complete the quest until towards the end of the game.
Yeah, there's honestly several of these kinds of quests where it's like. You don't really get any indication, but it's like you have no chance of doing it until you get to a certain part in the main story.
Exactly, and there's no way of knowing that.
Yeah,
and so you can just be trying forever.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to Anju, and then she will. Well, You have to be there at a specific time also.
Of course, yeah.
Where she gets a letter delivered from the guy.
Oh, is that like the second day or something?
No, it's the first day.
Oh, that's because the first day to get a pass into the end, you have to show up as Goron Link the first day, right after she gets the mail.
Yep, right out. Yeah.
So in that sequence, she's getting mail of the reservation of the Goron and from her star-crossed lover.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes apart.
Oh, okay.
So like a minute apart or two.
Oh, okay.
Because I think you can do the Goron thing anytime after that. Because
until the Goron shows up.
Until he shows up, yeah.
Which is there's 3 minutes.
Yeah. So, and no indication that would be a thing you could do. I feel like.
Yeah, I guess
unless you just hang around.
If you see the Goron show up, I feel like.
But again, he's there for like a minute.
Yeah.
Out of like the hour, so like the 3 days takes like an hour ish.
Yeah.
If you just like let it go and play through the 3 days, without like traveling in time at all.
And you can slow the flow of time with a song,
yes.
And you can speed up the time as well.
Yes, which I think another big problem with the game is that, I mean, I knew those songs, but I was like, what if you didn't know that you could do this?
Yeah.
Because there is a place that tells you.
Yeah.
It's one of the scarecrows, but like they don't like encourage you to talk to them or like learn that at all. And it's like, that is, I could imagine playing through, and I'm sure I did as a kid, playing through a lot of the game without knowing that at all. And it's like, it's so much easier with that.
Yeah. I guess though, but I mean, because as a kid, I definitely had learned that. And
I did too at some point.
I famously was extremely bad at video games as a kid, because now I'm just regular bad. And like, so I wonder if it actually is somewhat intuitive. But also the thing is, like, you could, if you were a very casual player and you're not trying to like really, really like destroy this game, you could definitely get through it without doing that.
Oh, you definitely could. But a lot of
that said, I don't know if that's true.
You could get through the main stuff.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the side, I mean, this quest in particular is like a good reason why you like when you can't use those, it makes the game excruciating.
Yeah.
And also, they clearly knew that stuff was not great, because that's one of the things they like changed with the 3DS.
Oh yeah,
they changed it where you can like instead, because in this, when you play to jump ahead in time, you can only jump like 6 hours, or like you can jump to the next night or the next morning, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think you can just like choose what time you want to go to in the 3DS.
Wow.
version.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been so nice.
But so in this, yeah, so you talk to her, she says, meet me later. There's no reason that this has to happen. Like, there's nothing that happens that, it's like she could have just told you then. You know what I mean? It's like, come back after like 8 hours or whatever it is. And then so you can do that Goron thing to get the key so you can go back in. That's another thing. It's like, why doesn't she just like give you like a key or be like, I'll leave the door unlocked?
So you have to sneak in.
You have to sneak in
to meet her when she told you to meet her.
When she invited you. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
She's kind of,
yeah, she's...
I wouldn't marry her either. Good call. Cafe. Is that his name? Cafe?
Yeah, cafe.
Cafe. Like
cafe.
Cafe.
Cafe, that's in Japanese, yeah. So, yeah, she tells you that he's been... Like, she doesn't really tell you anything. Like, that he's been missing, and then she gives you a letter to send to him. So you put that in the mailbox.
Yeah. Oh, and that's where the mailman comes into play.
Mm-hmm. The mailman will then take it, and you have to wait again till like 2 o'clock like the second day or something like that. Some random time on the second day for him to deliver the letter. Now you can have gone, because he's in the bath, or like the spoilers for Majora's Mask, by the way.
Yeah.
You haven't figured that out. Yeah. He's in like the bathhouse or whatever. You have to be there when he's delivering it, because you can like, I'm sure you did this this is what I did as a kid, and even this playthrough, like you can ring the bell, the mail bell.
Classic.
And he comes out. But if he realizes that it's not the mailman, he runs back inside.
Yeah.
And like the door, you can't open the door.
Yeah.
So this is your one chance to get inside. And once you're inside, then he'll talk to you. Because that makes sense.
Yeah, just him not ever talking to you, except for that, just in general, is one of the most frustrating.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, in particular, I remember just literally not understanding remotely what I was supposed to do with that.
No, exactly. And it's like one of the most intriguing parts of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I
as
literally
a kid,
feel like as a kid,
what
that was...
is this?
Yeah. I think that was the first thing I noticed. Or like that I...
Yeah,
like,
because you're clearly supposed to go there very early on because that's where you get the first fairy.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I think that like when you restart the day cycle, and that's essentially when
you're looking towards
exactly. It's like
little,
literally
like,
right in front of you.
Yeah,
and that's like essentially how you start the game after the tutorial esque kind of like sequence,
which we'll talk about because that's very important. Intro.
Interesting.
I mean, just do you not think so? Like the intro is like one of the best parts of the game. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So Miyamoto, well, that quest goes on, and it's as annoying as all of that, basically. And the real kicker is that you have to do it multiple times if you want to get all the masks.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because towards the end of all of that, there's certain things that only happen when you have done the rest of that quest.
Yeah.
And they're like mutually exclusive.
Wow.
You can't do both of them because they take place at the same time.
Jesus.
And one of them is the mailman thing. It's like you get it's like the so Cafe has been cursed by Skull Kid and turned into, which is a recurring theme in this game.
It's like
everyone is cursed.
Everyone seems to have gotten cursed by this.
Everyone is a cursed image. And he gets turned into a kid. And that's why he's ran away.
Oh.
And he's embarrassed or
totally
whatever.
Forgot that.
Yeah. And that's why he's wearing a mask so no one
crazy.
recognizes him. And
even though he's the one fucking guy in this whole town with purple hair.
Yeah. It's so obvious.
Wow.
And his wedding mask has been stolen.
Oh,
and that's another reason that like him and Anju both had like wedding masks made. I guess.
Yeah, as one does.
As one does in the culture of Majora's Mask.
Of Termina, yeah.
Yeah, the mask culture. So the quest turns into getting that mask back, and there's this like thief guy who's a part of other quests as well. But
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The creepiest guy in any of these games.
Who you find in the park.
Jeez.
Behind the like slide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like, what does he say? He's just like...
not doing anything. Like, I'm not hiding here.
Yeah.
Something. And you can just...
Incon, I believe is his name.
Incon?
At least it was in...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Incon.
You also can find him in Ikana Valley at the
That's where his hideout is, yeah. That's where you end up going in the quest.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. But you can just see him running around, and you can't speak to him. And
no, you can speak to him in Incana Valley.
Really?
Yeah, and he says like, "That's a really nice sword you got. Like, can I see it?" And then there's yes or no.
What? And he steals it?
So I looked it up because I was like, obviously, I'm not saying yes, but I looked it up, and if you say yes, Tattle, will like stop you from handing it over. So you can't actually, but because at that point I had the upgraded sword, and I was like, "There's no way I'm taking this chance."
Yeah,
I would be interested to see what happens, but
the work
this game. Because your sword can be stolen from you. Do you know what this?
Oh, with
the bird.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bird. There's an asshole bird in Majora's Mask that can steal, I want to say like any of your items.
Yeah, it stole a bottle from me.
Wow.
Which, like, as everyone knows, in these Zelda games, bottles are genuinely among the most valuable resources. I got so pissed.
Especially in this game.
And
there are certain parts of the game where it's like infuriating.
You literally need it. Oh. But that
But it's the best game of all time.
yes, it is.
As I continue complaining about it.
You then though take, or the bird takes whatever stolen item that it gets from you to the curiosity shop in town. And you have to buy it back, and
which is part of this quest.
Oh my gosh!
Because
really?
because that's how you find out where that, or how Cafe finds out where that guy's hideout is you have to be at the curiosity shop at midnight, I think, or something.
Oh, okay.
And he shows up with the bomb bag that he stole from the old lady.
Oh, and so you have to let him steal it.
You have to let him steal it.
That's so cool. That's why this is the best game ever. Stuff like that. Come on.
But no. Literally every single step in this, I don't know how you could ever figure it out.
That's
every single step. Except for like some of the last steps. It becomes more clear. Because then after that, you have to go to Ikana Valley, or Ikana, whatever it is.
Ikana, yeah.
And go to his hideout, and Kafe's hiding there waiting. You have to wait there for a while, doing nothing. Then he'll show up, and then you can go in.
Yeah.
And you have to do this little like thing where you control. I don't know. Is this the only time in a Zelda video game where you don't? Because you control both him and Link. You control both of them. It switches back and forth.
Yeah.
Which is really crazy.
Yeah, that literally is probably like one of very, very few examples where you control a different character.
Yeah.
Link.
Truly crazy. And then after that, so okay, before that, the curiosity shop guy like explains that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives you a gift for Mom or something is what it's called.
Gift for Mom. Okay.
That's probably not exactly
Today's
what
actually
it is.
Mother's Day that we're recording this, so that's interesting.
So, yeah.
Oh, wait, I got to text my mom really quick.
Text her a gift from Mom. And you can do two things basically with that, I think. You can either give it to Cafe's mom, who you'll find in the milk bar.
Oh,
in the final hours of the game, or you can like, I don't know if you like bring it to the mailman guy or something, or like put it in the mailbox or what, but somehow that's how you get the last mailman, or like that's how you get the mailman mask.
Okay, interesting.
And so you can only do one of those two, and you have to do the whole thing over again. And it's literally like this. You can only skip forward in time like once in the N64 version because everything is at like a weird time. So you literally just have to like run around and do nothing.
That's the worst.
And the whole thing takes like an hour. So you have to do that twice. And it's literally like doing it once is so boring.
Maybe, yeah, because I
can only imagine if you were trying to figure it out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you had done some of it, like you'd done half of it, and then you didn't know the next step. In order to like mess around and like, okay, I'll try and go here during this time and see if the next thing happens here or whatever. If you were wrong, you would have to then do everything over again.
Yeah.
Because you have to do everything in sequence. Truly awful.
Yeah. And I mean, this is, to me, just something I would complain about with this and Ocarina, where I just feel like there's so much of these two games that I literally don't think I would personally ever have figured out without a walkthrough. Like, I don't think I could have completed either of these games without some level of help from the internet. I don't know how people play these games.
Yeah.
Kids, nonetheless.
Yeah.
You as a kid, nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't think we talked about this, but as a kid... we had like the strategy guide for Ocarina of Time.
Oh, interesting.
Prima official.
Wow, that's classic.
So I agree. I mean, especially as a kid, and we did not have that for Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
But I did watch my brother play Majora's Mask, and he at one point did beat it.
Wow. Okay.
But I think he did like look stuff up online.
Yeah.
So that's the only way I knew about some of like the later stuff that happens in the game. But I don't think I ever saw the ending with him. Playing it. So this was my first time. Yeah. I don't think there's anything on the level of a lot of the quests in Ocarina of Time personally.
Yeah,
like,
not
there's,
quite.
There's really hard stuff, but a lot of it you don't have to do in Ocarina of Time.
That's true.
It's like truly optional.
Yeah.
And I guess this is truly optional.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff where it's not, but it seems like it would be. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that is like side quest level in Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
But you actually have to do it.
Yeah.
And so
there's also a lot of specifically.
If you're playing through without a walkthrough,
yeah,
you won't know if you have to do it or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's also a lot of these quests that you're talking about, like the getting the skull mask and then the Song of Storms in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Where I think about where it's like, I did not even realize that it was there. I didn't.
No, I never went there as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've beat this game before, so I must have been there, but I totally had forgotten this playthrough. And I never would have thought to go there until seeing it in the walkthrough. Because it's like you go up to a kind of valley, and it's like, surely this is where I need to be, but then you can't start the spring and
what's
without the Song of
What's
Storms.
confusing is the guy, at least like what was confusing for me is there's like that like ghost guy sitting on top of the thing on top of when you go towards the kind of valley, who says like you don't have like the mask to like go here, and I thought he was talking about to go like with that like where the skeleton guy is. So I was like, well, okay, I guess I can't do this.
Yeah.
So then, I had like the walkthrough was like, no, you have to go there.
Yeah.
And I was like, but he just told me I can't.
And also,
but he's talking about a different thing.
Yeah, he's talking about a mask that you get on the other side of the map in a totally random like mini game.
Yeah.
And I already had it at that point, but that's only because I had spent one full day like just going through and trying to beat every mini game to get heart pieces and stuff and just see what happened. And that was one in particular where I finished the race and I was like, oh, it's a mask. Weird. I thought it'd be a heart piece.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you put that there?
And that's another thing, because you talked about this game, you feel like this game is easier.
Yeah.
I feel like it's well, not quite the opposite, but like you know, with Ocarina of Time, you can not do almost any side stuff and you'll still end up with a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
If you don't do side stuff in this, you can beat the game with like 6 or 7 hearts.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
barely have any. Like, if you watch speedrunners, that's like...
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, hearts along the way in Ocarina. Whereas most
that are
of
like...
these are just random places.
Okay, so as you, that's that quest. It's infuriating, and I feel like that's representative of like my biggest problems with the game. Is just that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff will pop up in other quests and other parts of the game, but that is definitely like the pinnacle of just like what. And we're wrapping up this episode, but Aonuma does have a quote from there's interviews with him about when the 3DS version came out.
Oh, that makes sense.
And he talked about like he like went back and played it to like Miyamoto told him like go back and play it and like see like what needs to be fixed, like what's good, like what you know what you want to change, what doesn't need to change. And he said, usually Zelda games are made in a way that whenever you get a hunch that there's something going on the other side of the curve, which he's talking about, like you can't see like what you're supposed to do, but you can tell there's like something. He said that hunch will be enough for you to gather up enough willpower to move forward, even when there's a rough road ahead. But in the case of this Nintendo 64 version of Majora's Mask, when you think there's something ahead and you get there, there's nothing. There's no answers that you were hoping to find. Which is just very
so funny.
That is like exactly how I feel, which is so great that he just like sees that now, that like oh, like that you could just like be like, okay, I think this is what you're supposed to do, and then try and do that and just nothing happens, there's no indication of anything, and you're like, well, I guess I'll go back in time.
It's funny because this is never that's never been like a complaint for me or a thought about this game, But you are absolutely right that is probably the most solid critique of the whole the whole game.
But it does make it. I mean, I have not played the 3DS version, but it does make sense to me that when you beat it, it was the 3DS version.
Yeah.
Because, and we'll talk about other differences, but because I'm sure you also saw. I'm sure you maybe remembered some, but also like saw some when you're looking at like walkthroughs.
Yeah, I did keep on seeing that.
Because it's so often they're like, okay, in the 3DS version, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
totally,
they changed so much.
Like rooms and dungeons, I noticed a lot they would totally change.
Completely
like,
change,
rooms.
yeah. And bosses and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
just move people around and stuff,
that's
too.
just not, like, they did not change much in the Ocarina of Time 3DS version.
Oh, that's funny.
But listen, we'll get into that a little more next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yep. So stay tuned next week. Next episode, we're going to do more Majora's Mask, and there's a good chance we're going to see how long we can stand sitting here recording. The third episode should be a whole debate on if Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time is better and why. Do you still want to do that, Owen? Yeah.
Well, whether or not that's the third episode or if that just is, I mean, yes, I think that'll come up.
Yeah. So go to twitter.com, type in Gameography at Gameography Pod, and then go to www.gameographypod.com.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.